بلغ العلا بكماله كشف الدجى بجماله بلغ العلا بجماله كشف الدجى بجماله حسنت جميع خصاله صلوا عليه وآله صلوا عليه وآله صلی اللہ علیک یا رسول اللہ وسلم علیک یا حبیب اللہ. اج سکھ متراں دی ودیری ہے اج سکھ متراں دی ودیری ہے کیوں دلری اداس گھنیری ہے کیوں دلری اداس گھنیری ہے لو لو وچ شوق چنکیری ہے لو لو وچ شوق چنکیری ہے اج نینا لایا کیوں جھڑیاں سبحان اللہ سبحان اللہ سبحان اللہ سبحان اللہ سبحان اللہ سبحان اللہ. مک چند بدر شاشانی ہے مک چند بدر شاشانی ہے مت چمکے لات نورانی ہے مت چمکے لات نورانی ہے کالی زلف تے اکھ مستانی ہے کالی زلف تے اکھ مستانی ہے کالی زلف تے اکھ مستانی ہے مخمور اکھیں ہن مد بڑیاں سبحان اللہ ما اجمل کا سبحان اللہ ما اجمل کا ما احسن کا ما اکمل کا کتھے مہر علی کتھے تیری ثنا کتھے مہر علی کتھے تیری ثنا کتھے مہر علی کتھے تیری ثنا گستاخ اکھیاں کتھے جاڑیاں مشتاق اکھیں کتھے جاڑیاں. الصلاۃ والسلام علیک یا سیدی یا رسول اللہ وعلی آلک و اصحابک یا سیدی یا نور اللہ. لبیک لبیک یا رسول اللہ صلی اللہ علیہ وآلہ وسلم. تاجدار ختم نبوت زندہ آباد زندہ آباد. کتھے مہر علی کتھے تیری ثنا مشتاق اکھیں کتھے جاڑیاں سبحان اللہ سبحان اللہ سبحان ما اجملک ما احسنک ما اکملک. السلام علیکم ورحمۃ اللہ وبرکاتہ. Respected viewers and listeners, after reciting praise upon Allah and singing a devotional dedicated to my beloved master, the coolness of my soul, the most holy prophet Muhammad sallallahu ta'ala alayhi وآله وأصحابه وأزواجه وأمته وسلم وبارك وسلم وصلي عليه. Today I want to discuss a very important topic, and that is concerning a social issue, um, which is very relevant. Today is the Yom al Arafah. Tomorrow, inshallah, is Eid, Eid al Qurban, which will coincide with Jummah. So it's a blessed occasion that two Eids are congregating together, the Eid al Qurban and the Eid of Jummah, that they are coinciding with each other. So it's a blessed occasion. Therefore, in advance, I want to offer my prayers of blessings to all Muslim brothers and sisters on this blessed occasion, very blessed time that we are in. And the spirit of sacrifice, we see the spirit of sacrifice for those who are offering animal sacrifices for in the name of Allah, emulating the blessed practice that was begun by the patriarch Abraham, ala nabiyina wa alayhi salawat wa taslimat, the sacrificing of the bahimatul an'am, the particular animals that one sacrifices, whether it is a cow or a sheep or a goat or a ram or a camel or a buffalo, which is also something that is in the category of the bovines. That these are the animals that the people sacrifice, and it is not the blood of the animal or the flesh of the animal that you're sacrificing, and it is going to Allah. Rather, it is the piety in your heart, the righteousness in your heart of sacrificing that animal in the name of Allah. That piety, that righteousness is what goes up to Allah and what is received by Allah and what is accepted by Allah. That is what Allah Jalla Jalaluhu wa Amma Nawalahu wa A'zama Shanuhu, that is what He says. And on this occasion, we also remember the sacrifice that the patriarch Abraham was going to make of his own son, and the willingness of his own son to be a sacrifice, because that is what they perceived was the commandment of Allah. That is what the patriarch Abraham saw in a vision. He saw that he is slaughtering his own son Isaac, Sayyidina Ishaq, ala nabiyina wa alayhi salawat wa taslimat. In a vision, he saw this, and he told his son Ishaq, and his son said that if that is what Allah has shown you, then that is what I am prepared to do, and that is what we must do. And you will find that I am someone who is steadfast and not someone who will make a fuss about it. That was the beauty of these two figures that we revere, that are mentioned in the Holy Quran. They were patriarchs and they were even prophets. And so the patriarch Abraham took his son Isaac, Sayyidina Ishaq, took him to the what is called the rock. And you see behind me is an image, a photograph of the dome of the rock. That is the very rock upon which the patriarch Abraham tied up his son and was about to slaughter him, until it was revealed to him that no, you have fulfilled the vision. Don't slaughter him. Here you'll see the ram coming, and take the ram and sacrifice the ram, and that will fulfill the vision. So on this blessed occasion, we carry out, those of us who are able to, who can afford it, to sacrifice the animal. And that is, in our madhab, that is the Hanafi madhab, that is something that is wajib upon anyone who meets the threshold of wealth and so on, then is required to offer the animal sacrifice. Now, many people, both, of course, the external, the non-Muslim critics, and those who have some sort of hostility toward Islam, but also, sadly and regrettably, there are people who are within the Muslim millah, within the Muslim ummah, who also criticize this practice. and sort of display their hypocritical nature, or the influence that has the fact that they have been influenced by sort of foreign ideologies, foreign cultures, whether it's the Western culture or the philosophies of that have come from the non-Muslims, which says that, you know what, sacrificing animals, all this blood that is on spilled in the towns of the Muslims in the name of this festival that we celebrate, that we commemorate. They said that this is barbaric. God forbid. They claim that this is cruelty to animals. They say that this is unnecessary. They say that this is a waste of money, because these people, they look at the matter from a purely materialistic, purely worldly perspective. They don't you see, if they didn't actually criticize this aspect, that look, why are you slaughtering all these animals? This is a waste of money, and this is too much bloodshed, and so on and so forth. That is the very reason why we do it, because then it wouldn't be considered a sacrifice. The very spirit of Qurban, of sacrifice, that you do it for Allah. The world may say, oh, this is a waste. Why are you doing this as a waste? But we're doing it for Allah. And look, in the prior nation, in Bani Israel, in the children of Israel, they went to an even greater extent in this matter. They were commanded to sacrifice the animal and not even to touch it, meaning to eat from it. What is called the Holocaust, the burning of the sacrifice. They would burn the entire animal, and the smoke would ascend from the burning of these sacrifices, of offerings and sacrifices. But in this Sharia, in this Ummah, the Ummah of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, that has been abrogated, and so we can partake of the sacrifice, not only because we don't have a priestly caste within this Ummah, therefore everybody is able to partake of the sacrifice. Because as Allah said in the Quran, it is not the flesh of the animal, it is not the blood of the animal that reaches Allah, it is your piety. It is your piety. Another topic which I wanted to discuss, inshallah azza wa jal, is the fitna, the tribulation of divorce and families being broken up. And this is something that has increased exponentially in the last few decades in the Muslim world, particularly in the Arab world, but throughout the Muslim world in general as well, that divorce rates have skyrocketed. I'll give you an example. In Kuwait, for instance, it is the statistics which I have researched, that 40% of marriages in that country end up being dissolved in divorce, and so on and so forth. And this is something that's very concerning, and I want to speak about this issue on this occasion. You see, divorce is permitted in the Sharia. A man has the right to divorce his wife for any reason. He can just divorce his wife unilaterally. But the Holy Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam stated that abghadul halalu ila Allah ta'ala talaq. Sadaqa Rasulih al-Kareem. The Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he said that the most hateful thing to Allah from among the halal is divorce. Therefore, although this is something permitted, this is not something good, that people should take this thing lightly and start divorcing and say, well, it's halal. Yes, it is halal, but the reason that Allah made it halal is because there will be circumstances where it becomes necessary, where there's no other option. Therefore, he left it halal at your discretion. But be wise. Don't just divorce your wife on a drop of a hat, just like it's nothing. The family system is very important. Marriage is very important. So if your wife, your spouse, you feel that she is annoying you, or she is disobedient, or whatever the problem may be, to have patience, and it'll take some time. Many divorces, they happen almost instantly after the marriage. Within a little bit of time, the divorce occurs. That shows you the impatience of people. that you divorce, within like maybe a few months or maybe the first or second year of the marriage, people getting divorced. Why are you in such a haste? It's a lifelong commitment. So yes, there may be problems in the beginning, a rocky beginning, but inshallah, with patience, with tarbiyah and following the deen, and increasing your knowledge of the deen, and increasing of love, then the marriage will, inshallah, it will last. It will improve. The relationship will have an improvement. But people have to be patient in this regard. Nevertheless, Allah Azza wa Jalla has given the key to terminate a marriage into the hand of the husband, not the wife. This is what I want to talk about today. That even though Allah Azza wa Jalla has given men the ability to unilaterally terminate the marriage, divorce, the wisdom is behind it is that it's for not for women but for the men. That if it was given to the women to do this, then virtually very few marriages would end up lasting. There would be divorce left, right, and center. Marriages will be ending en masse. And that is what we are seeing. Why? Because although the Sharia says that a woman cannot unilaterally terminate her marriage, the laws of the Muslim countries have become secularized. And the courts and the judges and the legislatures, they have legislated against the Sharia, and they have empowered women to unilaterally divorce their husband. And as a consequence, because women are not as wise and not as patient and not as foreseeing as men, so they make rash decisions. And then if they're given the key to divorce, then they'll start divorcing like that. And then the family system will break down, the society will break down, because women who make these decisions to terminate their marriage, they're not thinking about their own future, let alone the future of their children and of society. They're not thinking about their children or society or even themselves, that what's going to happen to you. It's a very foolish and stupid thing to give women the key to terminating their own marriage. In Islam, we have something called khulla, where a lady may request to her husband that, I don't want to stay with you for whatever reason, so divorce me. Then it is the husband's decision. If he agrees, then he'll say, okay, fine, I will divorce you, and the marriage is dissolved. But if he thinks no, that she is not being reasonable, that she is being emotional, or whatever the reason is, then he has the right to deny the khulla. A husband has the right to deny the khulla. This is something which I want to make clear. Many Muslims are unaware of this. A khulla cannot occur without the husband's permission. Cannot occur without the husband's permission. Even if the lady goes to the court, goes to the judge, goes to the qadi and says that, please, give me a khulla, they are not authorized to do that without the husband's permission. They have to bring him. They have to find out what's going on. They have to ask him that, what, your wife wants a khulla, so give it to her. And if he says no, then he says no. That's it. It can't be like that. Otherwise, there will be anarchy. There will be chaos, and which what we are seeing now, the breaking down of the family system. This is why I strongly advocate for the traditional values of our people, the traditional conservative values. And we got to protect the sanctity of marriage. We got to protect the society. Do you want our society, the Muslim world I'm referring to here, you want it to go the same path as Western civilization, where there's no more family and where there's no more, everything is breaking down, and there's no more morality. There's everywhere you see there is sexual immorality. Everywhere you see there are broken families. Now there is same-sex marriage, and there is people who are supposedly married, meaning in a same-sex relationship. God forbid, they are adopting children, and children being raised in that environment. The worst form of child abuse you can imagine. Is that something good? Is that something that we want to happen in our society? Of course not. No reasonable person would say that. Bismillah. Respected viewers and listeners, may Allah bless you. May Allah grant you goodness in the dunya and in the afterlife. You see, the poison of feminism has begun a rot in our society. in the world of Islam, the world of the Muslims. And you see that many of these governments, for instance, Egypt in 2000, at that time, President Hosni Mubarak, he signed off on a law that would grant women unilateral no fault divorce, where all they have to do is say that they want a divorce for any reason whatsoever, no reason whatsoever is fine as well. All they have to do is therefore return the mahar, not ask for the mahar if there's any that's remaining, return whatever has been given to them, and forego their right to alimony and so on and so forth. And then the marriage is terminated, and then they go their own separate ways. Even if the husband is against it, even if he appeals the decision of the court, nothing can be done. The marriage will be terminated. This is totally against the Sharia. And our ulama say that such type of unilateral termination through khula without the husband's consent is invalid. What does that mean? If it's invalid, this is very important. Consider this. If the termination of the nikah through khula was invalid because the husband's consent was not there, it means that if that woman marries another man, it's not a marriage. It's not a valid marriage if she marries another man. And then if she has sexual relations with him, it is zina, it is adultery. And if there are children born from that unholy union, those children are illegitimate. They are bastards. You are bringing bastards into the world. You are bringing children born from haram into the world. What kind of evil is that? And you are committing adultery against your actual husband. This is the evil that is seeping into the Muslim societies. The spreading of adultery, of zina, and the spreading of children being born out of wedlock. As you see in the Western societies. In the Western society, there are some communities, the main communities here, 70% to 80% born out of wedlock. Born out of wedlock, meaning they're bastards. Many of them don't even know who their real father is. Many of them don't even know who their real father is. Many of their mothers don't even know that who was the man I slept with and then I got pregnant and gave birth to you. I don't remember which man it was because there were so many men. That is the state of affairs in this part of the world. Do we want that in the Muslim world as well? God forbid. Ali a'udhu billah. This is the fitna of the so-called modernist and the so-called progressive ulama from Al-Azhar and other places that are giving these fatwa that, yeah, a woman can get a khula without her husband's consent, giving women the power to unilaterally terminate their marriage. These ulama these devilish people who have no fear of Allah, they're corrupting their society. What kind of account will they have to render in the sight of Allah, in the presence of Allah, on the day of judgment? Fear Allah about this matter. And you have this khinzir named Mirza Jalmi. Calls himself an engineer, but I call him a khinzir. He's going around saying that, yeah, a lady has the right to unilaterally terminate her marriage for no reason at all, presenting a hadith without understanding the context of it, without understanding the ruling concerning it, without understanding the fiqh, how the ulama approach the hadith, whether it is abrogated, whether it has conditions, what is the correct interpretation. They just take that one hadith and then they just destroy the society. This is one of the problems with this so-called, Salafism, this hadithist sort of literalist approach of the so-called Ahl Hadith sect. They have no fiqh, they have no concern, no responsibility in making these rulings. They're just, disrupting the entire society, letting women just, terminate their marriage unilaterally, not understanding that the seriousness of this issue, how it's affecting the society. Because these are not true ulama. The ulama Rabbani, they are saying, especially from our Ahnaf, and especially from the subcontinent, I find that they are the most zealous, the most jealous for the Sharia, for the laws of Allah, and for the conservative and for the traditional approach. They are the ones that have the most ghaira. And these other modernists and so-called modern Salafis and these type of people, they have no ghaira at all. They have no ghaira at all, especially when it comes to issues that concerning women and traditional gender roles. No, they're just going with whatever the uh, the feminist narrative is, including another stupid person named Asim Al Hakim, this stupid uh, idiot person from Indonesia who thinks he's some kind of Arab, dressing like an Arab, meaning like a Bedouin Arab, when he has the ugly face of an Indonesian, and he's giving these fatwa, saying, it's zulum. Women should be able to end their marriage without their husband consent. This is not right. This is leading to so many problems. Allah has blessed the true ulama, the Sunni ulama, with a farasa, with a basira, with a sense of ghaira, so that when they give rulings, they give it with responsibility, taking into account the situation of the society. Until next time, assalamu alaikum.